Like a flickering art house frame, Greta Scacchi once mesmerized as the enigmatic siren of 80s miniseries and thrillers. Today, with silver-streaked curls and serene poise, she graces indie films and stages, embracing roles that echo depth over dazzle, her evolution quietly fierce. Once the poised, smoldering heart of Sisters and Once and Again, Seal Award-ruled network drama with calm intensity. Now 69, with softened lines and sharpened insight, she stepped behind the camera and into activism, choosing legacy over limelight, substance over spotlight. Murphy Brown made her cultural force, acerbic, sharp-suited, and unfiltered. Decades later, Candice Bergen still carries that wit, now softened by warmth and years. At 79, she sketches, travels, and chooses indie cameos over center stage, still commanding, just on her own terms. From teen sleuth Nancy Drew to Fallon Carrington's Dynasty of drama, Pamela Sue Martin owned 70s and 80s TV with rebellious charisma. Now 72, she sports silver waves and environmental convictions, swapping Hollywood chaos for quiet crusades in coastal towns. Once America's sweetheart on My Three Sons, Tina Cole's golden hair and wholesome grace lit up living rooms. Now 82, her style is softer, her voice richer, guiding young artists in theater, proof that charisma doesn't age, it adapts like reruns that still stir the heart. She stirred laughs as the sharp-witted Terry on Three's Company, blonde curls bouncing under sitcom lights. Today at 70, her look is grounded, earthy hair, gentle smile, as she quietly champions indie film and health causes, shedding fame's spotlight but not its legacy. As the sultry rebel in Showgirls and edgy TV roles, Gina Gershon owns screens with smoky eyes and fearless flair. Now 63, silver streaks accent her dark mane as she blends acting with activism, still electric, but rewired for impact beyond the flashing bulbs. From battlefield nurse to feminist icon, Loretta Swit's MASH asterisk role broke TV molds. Her voice once cut through wartime chaos. Now, at 87, it's a gentle force for animal rights. Wrinkles trace wisdom, not retreat. Her legacy stitched into culture, advocacy, and grace. Once the red swimsuit icon of Baywatch, Pamela Anderson turned slow motion into a cultural phenomenon. Now 58, with pared-down style and poetry in her voice, she reclaims her image through memoirs and stage roles, choosing vulnerability over veneer, authorship over artifice. She once slinked across screens as Catwoman, mischievous, magnetic, utterly unforgettable. Now 91, Julie Newmar moves with grace through gardens and galleries, her silver hair a crown of endurance. She's traded claws for quiet elegance, but her mystique remains untamed. Melrose, before we continue these amazing celebrity transformations, here's a quick challenge for you. Can you subscribe to Then vs. Now Legends in the next 5 seconds? Smash that subscribe button and join us on this journey through time with your favorite stars. Melrose Place's resident fire starter, Heather Locklear, captivated with blonde ambition and ice-edged charm. Today at 63, after battles waged far from set lights, she embraces stillness, family, and sobriety, her story no longer scripted, but defiantly and delicately her own. She reigned on Dynasty as Crystal Carrington, all shoulder pads and steadfast grace. At 82, Linda Evans lives beyond Hollywood's frame, her posture softened, her smile unchanged. Retreating to nature and self-reflection, she chose healing over hustle, soul over spotlight. Daisy Duke's denim shorts defined a TV era, and Catherine Bach's fearless charm stole every Dukes of Hazzard scene. At 71, her style is relaxed, her voice deliberate, less stunts, more substance. She embraced family life and quiet philanthropy, still writing her own rules. Gloria in All in the Family gave voice to a generation's growing conscience. Sally Struthers, once all fire and feathered hair, now 78, wears time with warmth. She channels her passion into theater and activism, proving that comedic timing can evolve into lifelong purpose. A trailblazer in a blazer, Leslie Stahl shattered ceilings on 60 Minutes with steel-eyed clarity. Now 83, silver hair cropped sharp. She remains a journalistic force. Less nightly headline, more wise narrator, her voice echoing in every woman who followed her lead. Wonder Woman spun into history with Linda Carter's regal strength and cinematic poise. At 74, she wears her legacy like armor, elegant, unshaken. No longer fighting villains, she champions causes and crafts music, proving heroism isn't a costume. It's a lifelong calling. From Bond girl to desperate housewife, Terry Hatcher lit up screens with wry charm and fearless beauty. Now 60, she embraces grace streaks and self-produced projects, running marathons and penning essays. No longer chasing roles, but carving space for reinvention and truth. Designing women, Suzanne Sugarbaker with sass, sequins, and southern steel. Off-screen, Delta Burke faced battles with weight, typecasting, and anxiety. Now 69, with short silver hair and candor as her armor, she's retired from fame but remains an icon of defiant softness. She froze time in Fast Times, that red bikini scene etched into pop culture. Yet Phoebe Cates-Klein vanished by choice, trading scripts for Family and a Manhattan boutique. At 62, her look is boho refined, her silence powerful, proof that walking away can be radical. She charmed as the sweet rebel on One Day at a Time, then cooked her way into Hearts Again on the Food Network. At 65, Valerie Bertinelli wears joy and hard-won wisdom, having shed roles, grief, and expectations, flower-dusted, fearless, and unapologetically whole. Her quick wit and auburn hair lit up Taxi, but Marilu Henner's rare memory made her truly unforgettable. At 73, her glow is grounded, her mission clear, now health advocate and author. She's traded sitcom sets for speaking tours, proving sharp minds never dim. She poured sarcasm and smarts into Diane Chambers on Cheers, turning bar banter into Emmy Gold. Now 75, her hair's softer, her presence gentler, far from the studio lights but not forgotten. She crafts a quieter life, having left wit and depth etched on TV history. As Abby on Knots Landing, Donna Mills perfected the icy stare and power lip. Today at 84, her style remains crisp, but her mission's warmer, raising a daughter and backing arts programs. No longer the villain, she thrives in a matriarch of elegance and purpose. From Cagney and Lacey to queer TV pioneer, Sharon Gless always pushed past limits. Her bold voice and bright eyes once owned the screen. Now 82, she writes candidly of addiction and triumph. Softer in stance, stronger in spirit, her courage never stopped evolving. She chased crime and romance on Heart to Heart, with auburn curls and crisp elegance. Now 82, Stephanie Powers devotes her time to wildlife conservation, her style earth-toned and serene. Once a TV sleuth, now a global advocate, her journey rewrites what legacy looks like. She danced with Elvis in Follow That Dream and graced 60s TV with porcelain poise. Now 87, and Helma's left acting behind, turning to children's books and quiet retirement. Though her screen time dimmed, her artistic spirit found softer, enduring pages to live on. Once the sharp-eyed angel in Charlie's Angels, Kate Jackson brought cool intellect to crime-solving glam. At 76, she lives away for Hollywood's glare, her face lined with battles survived. Retired but not erased, she remains a symbol of strength over sparkle. She ruled the 80s as Dynasty's Alexis, velvet voice, venomous glare, pure power. Now 92, Joan Collins wears age like couture, never subtle, always regal. She still writes, tours, and commands attention, not preserved in time, but defiantly, fabulously evolving through it. She lit up Three's Company as Chrissy Snow, sun-kissed, bubbly, underestimated. Suzanne Summers later reclaimed her voice, building a wellness empire before her 2023 passing. From sitcom laughter to entrepreneurial grit, she turned typecasting into a legacy of self-defined power. She balanced slapstick and smarts as Janet on Three's Company, grounding chaos with calm. Now 76, her signature dark bob is gentler, her public life quiet. Though she stepped away from fame's frenzy, she remains a steward of stage work and mindful reinvention. A porcelain beauty with boardroom bite, Morgan Fairchild ruled 80s TV dramas with elegance and edge. Now 75, she leans into character roles and advocacy, platinum hair a crown of experience. Still poised, but now with purpose. Less spectacle, more substance. She joined Charlie's Angels mid-flight, bringing grace and steel to the franchise. At 74, Cheryl Ladd embraces silver waves and softer scripts, trading chase scenes for charity work. She didn't fade. She evolved, turning screen stardom into a life of quiet power. In Buck Rogers, she was all silver suits and commanding presence, a sci-fi trailblazer with steel in her gaze. Now 75, Erin Gray mentors actors and teaches Tai Chi, her grace grounded, her voice calm. She swapped laser guns for healing arts, still leading, just differently. As Pamela Barnes Ewing on Dallas, she balanced oil-soaked drama with quiet conviction. At 75, Victoria Principal left Hollywood to launch a skincare empire and environmental causes. Her style now minimalist, her mission maximal, she chose purpose over plot lines and never looked back. She made Ginger Grant iconic, Gilligan's Island's red-haired siren with Broadway bones. Now 91, Tina Louise wears snowy waves and literary grace, focusing on children's causes and poetry. Far from stranded, she built a life rooted in advocacy, not applause. From Lassie to Lost in Space, June Lockhart mothered generations on screen. Now 100, with a voice like warm vinyl and steps slowed by time, she remains a cherished emblem of classic television, her legacy not rebooted, but revered, spanning galaxies of affection. As Rebecca Howe on Cheers, Kirstie Alley wielded sass and vulnerability with fearless flair. Her look shifted over decades, her voice stayed defiant. Before her passing in 2022, she faced fame's tides head-on, rebellious to the end, never content to play it safe. From moonlighting's radiant chaos to talk show drama, Cybill Shepherd made brains and beauty inseparable. At 75, her platinum waves are looser, her roles deeper. No longer chasing scripts, she reflects, writes, and mentors, proof that stardom can mature with soul. That Girl changed TV, and Marlo Thomas changed expectations, wide-eyed, ambitious, unstoppable. Now 87, her voice champions children's health and women's rights. Hair grayer, posture proud, she rewrote what it means to be a star, on screen, off screen, and far beyond. She captured neurotic charm on Mad About You, a 90s icon of relatability. At 62, Helen Hunt's golden bob is shorter, her gaze more introspective. She directs, advocates, and acts with quiet force. Less rom-com sparkle, more depth in every step she takes. She lit up Will and Grace with ginger curls, rapid wit, and offbeat charm. Now 56, Deborah Messing balances activism with indie projects, embracing softer tones and deeper truths. No longer chasing sitcom sparkle, she channels her voice into causes, and still gets the last laugh. In Get Smart, she was Agent 99, cool, clever, and always 3 steps ahead. Now 92, Barbara Feldon lives quietly, her posture gentler but intellect intact. A recluse by choice, she writes and reflects, proof that stepping out of the spotlight can be the boldest move of all. She shimmered in Square Pegs and The Lost Boys with Girl Next Door charm and comedic bite. At 59, Jamie Gertz is more philanthropist than performer, co-owning an NBA team and raising millions. Her spotlight shifted, but her power multiplied behind the scenes. From Seinfeld's Elaine to Veep's Selena, Julia Louis-Dreyfus redefined female comedy, awkward, acerbic, iconic. At 64, with chic silver strands and Emmy statues stacked, she's a cancer survivor, producer, and comedic compass still steering the genre forward. That feather hair became a cultural roar, but Farrah Fawcett was more than a poster. Charlie's Angels launched her, but Fearless roles later redefined her. Before her 2009 passing, she confronted illness and fame with raw honesty, turning icon status into human truth. Her comedy cracked barriers before many dared try. Carol Burnett's sketch Genius reshaped TV, laugh by laugh. Now 92, her hair is soft silver, her walk deliberate, but her timing? Still razor sharp. She's not just a legend, she's the blueprint for fearless creation. A model turned mystique, Rebecca Romijn entered TV with elegance and steel. At 52, she trades glossy spreads for layered roles and podcast hosting. The blonde bombshell vibe lingers, but now it's laced with wit and control. Her reinvention is a study in self-possession. As Ally McBeal, she danced through surreal courtrooms and gender politics alike. Now 60, her style is minimalist, her presence serene. Callista Flockhart shifted from TV darling to private advocate in selective roles, showing that quiet careers can echo just as loud. She was the elegant angel, Charlie's Angel's soft-spoken strength in flowing hair and flawless poise. Now 79, Jaclyn Smith helms a successful fashion line. Her look classic, her presence undimmed. She didn't just age gracefully, she built an empire behind that quiet fire. She made go-go boots political and sang rebellion with a wink. Now 85, Nancy Sinatra sports white bangs and fierce opinions, still releasing music and calling out injustice. No longer just these boots, she walks through history as a voice both timeless and timely. As the daredevil beauty of the fall guy, Heather Thomas soared with sun-bleached hair and fearless allure. Now 68, she's a novelist and advocate, her Hollywood chapter closed by choice. The stunts are over, but the script she writes today is fully her own. The Bionic Woman ran faster, jumped higher, and showed TV that empathy could be superhuman. At 76, Lindsay Wagner leads wellness retreats and lectures on healing. Her stride is slower now, but her mission evolved from screen superhero to real-world guide. She kicked down TV's boys' club as policewoman, redefining strength in heels and a badge. Now 93, Angie Dickinson lives far from the spotlight, her once bold stride slower, but her legacy undimmed. She cracked ceilings before hashtags, leaving behind a trail of grit and grace. From Married with Children's big-haired Peg to Sons of Anarchy's fierce matriarch, Katie Sagal reinvented herself with each era. Now 71, her signature voice powers animated hits, and her style leans dark, sleek, lived in, ever-evolving, never stuck in one role. As Elise Keaton on Family Ties, she blended softness with strength in shoulder pads and motherly wit. At 78, Meredith Baxter wears her truth openly, grayer, calmer, and deeply active in LGBTQ+ advocacy. Her evolution from sitcom mom to changemaker is quietly radical. Rachel Green's hair launched trends, but Jennifer Aniston's charm carried Friends into TV history. Now 56, she favors sculpted roles and quiet candor over tabloids. Her golden glow remains, but her power lies in control of career, image, and the space she claims. From Monica's obsessive charm on Friends to Scream's relentless reporter, Courtney Cox shaped 90s pop culture. Now 61, she produces, embraces natural aging, and shares unfiltered moments online. No longer sitcom polished, she's raw, real, and rewriting middle age on her own terms. Phoebe Buffry's quirky soul and off-key brilliance made Lisa Kudrow unforgettable. Now 61, she crafts complex roles behind a camera and teaches psychology on the side. Her aura remains eccentric, but her impact deepened, less laugh track, more legacy. She slayed vampires and stereotypes as Buffy, with stakes in hand and fierce resolve. At 48, Sarah Michelle Gellar runs a food brand, raises kids, and returns to genre work, this time with scars, strength, and a sense of purpose sharpened by time. She captured hearts in Party of Five and Ghost Whisperer, her expressive eyes filled with longing and fire. Now 46, Jennifer Love Hewitt embraces motherhood in low-key roles, her style softer, pace slower, choosing presence over pressure, balance over buzz. As Kelly Kapowski on Saved by the Bell, she ruled teen hearts with dimples and denim. Now 51, Tiffany Thiessen leans into slow living, gray streaks welcome, garden gloves on, hosting cooking shows and writing books. The cheerleader image faded, but her voice only deepened. 90,210's Kelly Taylor was tender and tough, and Jenny Garth wore both like a second skin. At 53, she balances public life with personal healing. Sun-kissed hair now shoulder length, focus turned inward. She swapped red carpets for real talk and raising daughters with grit. Fierce and fiery, Shannon Doherty made 90210 and charmed iconic with her unfiltered edge. At 54, she battles illness in full view, brave, bald, and unbowed. No longer the rebel teen, she's a raw voice of resilience, still rewriting the script in real time. Born into TV royalty, Tori Spelling found her own fame as Donna on 90210, sugar-sweet but persistent. Now 52, she navigates motherhood, reinvention, and reality TV with a candid, chaotic grace. Flaws in view, strength intact, she's crafting survival as a series. As Married Out with Children's Kelly, she was blonde chaos and comedic timing. At 53, Christina Applegate faces MS with grit, walking red carpets with a cane and unshakable wit. She's traded punchlines for power, showing strength isn't in the stride, but in standing tall anyway. Once the stoic skeptic in The X-Files, Gillian Anderson gave sci-fi a cerebral pulse. Now 56, she reinvents with every role, from Thatcher to sex therapist, with silver-streaked flair and fearlessness. Her evolution isn't paranormal. It's power, precision, and purposeful growth. She brought dry wit and ballet grace to Frasier's Daphne Moon. Now 64, Jane Leeves carries warmth and wisdom into medical dramas and theater, her style refined, her stride unhurried. From physical comedy to quiet nuance, her range only deepened with time. With nasal charm and towering hair, the Nanny's Fran Fine broke sitcom molds. Now 67, Fran Drescher leads FTRA, champions cancer awareness, and still wields that unmistakable voice. No longer just a laugh track, she's become a force behind the curtain. Tool belt in hand, she anchored Home Improvement with warmth and wit. Now 74, Patricia Richardson trades sitcom chaos for activism and family time. Her auburn waves have softened to silver, but her presence, poised and unapologetic, still speaks volumes about quiet power and self-defined success. Once a blue-collar firebrand on prime time, now Roseanne Barr, 72, lives off-grid in Hawaii, still outspoken, but far from the spotlight. Her cropped hair and earth-toned ease replaced the loud prints and punchlines, showing a woman who traded studio battles for unfiltered solitude and radical self-possession. Like a stage light dimmed to a warm glow, Felicia Rashad's elegance endures. At 77, the former Cosby Show matriarch, known for her serene strength, now shapes futures as a university dean. Her regal posture and salt-streaked hair embody grace redefined, channeling legacy into the next generation. Olive Oil's lanky charm and the shining screen queen edge once made Shelley Duvall a cult favorite. At 76, she's re-emerged, fragile yet fiercely human, after years away. Her wide eyes still mirror wonder, but it's resilience, not roles, that now define her narrative beyond the Hollywood frame. Once the sitcom counterpart to Mork's cosmic chaos, Pam Dauber glowed with grounded charm. Now 73, she stepped far from the lens, favoring genes over glam and family over fame. Like a well-worn script tucked in a drawer, her legacy whispers quietly, defined not by applause, but by intentional absence. Back then, she was the cool, rebellious Mallory on Family Ties, denim, eyeliner, and Gen X flair. Now 59, Justine Bateman writes, directs, and challenges ageism head-on. The tousled hair is streaked with gray, her gaze sharper than ever, proof that reinvention doesn't require permission or polish. Blazer-clad and battle-ready, she was Jo on The Facts of Life. Fierce, funny, unforgettable. At 59, Nancy McKeon lives off-screen, raising kids and making occasional returns. Her biker jacket's long retired, replaced by quiet candor and calm strength that speaks louder than any studio contract. As Tootie on skates, Kim Fields rolled through 80s hearts with effervescent energy. Today at 56, she directs with poise, teaches with purpose, and wears her curls natural, her style unapologetic. From child star to creative force, she spun career pivots into a choreography of bold self-determination. From Blair's preppy perfection on The Facts of Life to today's spiritual coaching and speaking, Lisa Whelchel, 62, has shed the satin and studio lights. Her golden curls now frame a face lit by inner calm. Fame once defined her. Now it's faith, reflection, and a life chosen beyond the camera's gaze. Like a hidden gem that catches light anew, Mindy Cohn's warmth never faded. It evolved. As Natalie on The Facts of Life, she brought heart and humor. Now 59, she lends her voice to animation and advocates for health equity, with lavender gray hair and a presence that radiates grounded purpose. She sizzled through the 70s on Maude, with rebellious charisma and a signature sultry rasp. Now 80, Adrienne Barbeau writes horror novels and voices animated heroines. The leather has softened, the curls silvered, but her edge remains, unbothered by time, still challenging expectations on her own terms. She was elegance incarnate on Julia, breaking barriers with every poised frame. Diane Carroll, who passed in 2019, now lives in echoes, her legacy woven into the DNA of modern television. From sleek 60s gowns to Broadway brilliance, she reframed beauty, grace, and power for generations to come. As Carol Brady, she mothered a blended nation with a flip hairstyle and unwavering cheer. When Florence Henderson passed in 2016, she left more than memories. She left a blueprint. Off-screen, she shattered stereotypes and danced into her later years, redefining what staying power really looks like. Then Versus Now Legends is feeling a bit lonely. 99% of you haven't subscribed yet. Show us some love and hit that subscribe button so we can keep bringing you the jaw-dropping journeys of your favorite stars. And if you're as fascinated by then and now glow-ups as we are, check out our previous videos. Trust us, they're totally worth your time and ours too.